Hi everyone, it's Scrappy Kathy here with May I Scraplift You? And while I'm at it, I'm going to do today's load prompt. My scraplift today will be of Gill Birch, my good friend and confidant who has a very distinctive kind of minimalist style, but her pages are always so impactful. I absolutely love this one, and I knew it would be a challenge for me, but there's so much about it that I love, I thought I'd give it a shot anyway. Today's load prompt was about what we carry in our purses. And I've actually been wanting to do a page about this. While I'm at it, I think I'll trim the photo I'm going to use off of this. I just printed these photos for this page and a few others. Let's see. Most of you know that I've lost my husband. What you may not know is that we retired 12 years ago in August, and in that time, we've pretty much been inseparable. And so kind of joined at the hip by chance and by choice, and we kind of had there was I don't think we ever sat down and decided it was going to be this way, but he ended up carrying the money and the keys and the credit cards, and I don't know what I carried. I didn't carry much of anything. I did when we went in the car or on trips or anything, I did the navigating and so forth. I had my roles. I cooked the occasional meal and planted the occasional plant. But when we went to the car, that was his wallet, those are his glasses, and those are the keys he carried. So about the first 57 times I made the trip upstairs to the garage to go in the car, I had forgotten something. So I instead of transferring credit cards and things like that out of his very precisely and neatly arranged wallet, I decided to just carry his wallet. so I do. And I loved his glasses. It's a really flat, matte, metallic finish that's in a beautiful navy blue color. So I had my prescription put in his glasses. And I still had trouble keeping track of the keys. So Katie got me a lanyard, and there's a charm that doesn't show under there of a turtle because she knows I collect turtles, that she got me when she went on a trip with some of her friends. And this kind of puffy Angry Bird, because that was John's favorite game to play, and he got Ava this little stuffed Angry Bird, and she called it Angie Bird when she was at that age. So that Angie Bird has been kind of making its way around my craft room. I never wanted to get rid of it, and I thought it would be a good thing to kind of keep the lanyard and the keys and the other stuff from hiding, so this Angie Bird can't stuff all the way down into anything, so I always kind of know where my keys are. So pretty much this is how I roll. So that's going to be the title of this page. And I've kind of been wanting to tell that story because I actually kind of amuse myself when I wear this around my neck going to the gym. I actually had my gym ID card on there, but in order to secure the locker, you kind of have to take it off, and it's a little bit of a hassle. So I can do that. Well, anyway, this is how I roll now today as I'm doing this layout. So products that I'm using. I loved her little tiny butterflies, and I didn't have any that I could fussy cut. So I die cut these out of this incredible vellum paper that's from Color Study. And I'm left with this, and you can be sure I'm going to use these. I'm going to cut out these circles and use these as almost as cut files. So I'm going to use that piece of paper. So I'm going to save that. I'm going to use this stamp to create this little jumble of black dots. And that stamp set is from Studio Light, Signature Collection, Exclusive Textures, Art by Marlene. And it's all of these. I got that from Redefine Creative. It's one of Christina's standby stamps that she uses. I have used the Bramble Fox, 2 Bramble Fox die sets. One of them is this one that has this barbed wire, and I'm going to use that for these bits kind of sticking above and below. And I've die cut 2 of them. And I've also used this frame die from this set, and I've cut frames out of 2 papers. One is black, and when you use that die on a piece of paper, you get the frame, plus you also get this nice square that can be used for layering. And like I said, I cut it out of this green from this paper from Color Study, making sure that I got, you know, a lot of that interesting edge work there. And it left me with this beautiful square. I don't think I'll use those squares on this page, but they'll show up in future pages. And I've got little the little puffy hearts and stars from Color Study, and Tim Holtz Distress Oxide in Twisted Citron, and a Vicki Boutin watercolor brush. So let's get started. And this is Vicki Boutin's Foundations mixed media paper. I have a few other things. I'm doing 2 layouts, kind of one right after the other. And this is my first. I also have this bit of film strip left from Redefine Creative Cuts Club, and I may use it to layer behind there. Let me get my original back out here so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, I'm gonna just kind of do that and that. And then now I'm gonna go to work on it with a little bit of water, just a little. And then I'm gonna take this water brush and kind of do those streak marks. I don't want to fill in all that area there. All the white, because I want some white pieces showing. So I just wanted something that looked naturally like I had taken a big paintbrush and done it. And I have somewhere a shimmer spray from Diane Reevely Dilutions, and I'm going to use it a little bit differently. I'm not going to splatter it because there are no splatters on Gill's layout, and that's part of the beautiful simplicity, but I kind of wanted some of these shimmery spots in places. She doesn't have that either, but you know, I think it's lifter's prerogative, right? So put that there. Let me get my roll of paper towel and hope that none of that orange comes off, so I'll pull that off. Although it might be interesting if it did. Just gonna do that, and now it's ready to go. It's not exactly the same color green as my lanyard shows in the photo, but I think it's going to work. Okay, here's where I said I maybe wasn't going to use the photo, but maybe I will, or the square bits. Maybe I will. I might do this around this side of the photo, and this around the other side, kind of like that. And then I'm gonna offset this and kind of hook it around like she did. I'm going to turn that one upside down and hook it around the other way, maybe. I'm not sure that I like that. Let's see. I could do that. It doesn't show up much. I could maybe layer that more off of the, let me just go ahead and do it that way. I'll build it up from where it shows. Now I kind of want this to show, so maybe I should do it on this side. Let me do that. And it kind of comes off onto the white part there. And then I'll do this. And then that can kind of go, let me turn that upside down, and I'll hook it down there. I should have done these in the opposite. And that's easily doable. Okay, now let me do some foam. And I think we're set. Someone messaged me this morning on YouTube that she gets excited when she logs into YouTube and sees a long video from me. And I know you're all used to really long videos, and I've done some doozies lately. This one I hope won't be too long, because as I said, I have a couple other things to do. So where did my, okay, I've got the film strip. I could do a little bit out here and a little bit out here. Or I could do a little bit above and a little bit below. I think I'm going to do it off to the side. I don't think that's what I did the last couple times. So let me try that. And mine is going to be, I think, just by definition, by the fact that I'm doing it instead of Jill, it's going to be busier than hers. And we all knew that before I began, right? And I am sure that Jill won't mind. There. I just like that I love, no matter what kind of layout I'm doing, I love the contrast and interest that you get from a film strip. And yes, I know I've just covered up that pretty part of the green frame. And maybe what I need to do is get rid of that glue. And I think I described to someone the act of getting glue off with the hem of one's garment. And you've all seen me do that more than once, I'm afraid to say. So I guess we could do this. Let me get this, any precise movements. What the heck is that? Okay, that one sticks out a lot farther than the other one, so maybe I'll do something different there. Okay, so here we have the barbed wire, and I don't need it as long as it is. I'm going to cut a little bit off, which I can save for a different layout. Speaking of the contrast, this is almost one of those kind of universal images that could be used on any layout, and it can provide a lot of nice contrast. I'm gonna glue that down. It's going over some layers here, including the foam, and the mixed media is still a little bit damp, so I'll glue that down when the mixed media is ready to accept and admit it's powerless against the glue. Here. And of course I ran the photo, which was kind of interesting looking on its own, but I thought it made it even more interesting to run it through the waterlog filter, which turned it into a watercolor painting. And I like the I like the lime green there more than I like this color. Okay, that's not wanting to stick either. Let me put glue on both of these little barbed areas. Okay, there we go. Now, what did I do with my butterflies? Actually, let me do the title, and then I'll go back and do butterflies. And actually, before I go any farther, I need to cut the perforation off here, or I'll forget it, and I'll go to put this in an album, or show it in a layout share, and I'll notice the perforation. Generally I don't notice them, and I forget a lot. Okay, so the large butterfly, I may go ahead and place here. I'm gonna fold it and dab it with a little glue. And it's wet glue and vellum, so in my experience, that's probably going to result in the leaves kind of curling up and folding anyway. But I wanted to let it know where I wanted the fold, so. And I'm just kind of pressing that down, and it'll take hold at some point. This little one, I'll do one at the bottom and one at the top. This one I'll put down here, and I'm going to put this one against the white. The other one is has blue and purple colors, so I'm going to put it against the green where it'll either show through and look like mud, or it'll contrast nicely. So how about, well, let's put it there. Okay, I'm good with that. Now let's do the title. Let me put my piece of barbed wire here. I'm gonna do the word roll in these bright letters. Let me see if there's not a green R. There's a blue R that would kind of reflect his glasses. There's a green O, and there are 2 green L's. So yeah, that would be okay. Let's say the R, O, and then I don't have all the L's there, so I'm gonna have to open a new pack. And that's okay, because I have quite a few. And I wish I had a red letter in those 3 letters, the R's, the O's, and the L's, have no red, because I'd really like to maybe pick up on that red. So I'm gonna overlap the film strip there with my lettering. So I'm going to use the blue R, and I'm going to put it parallel to in other words, not at an angle. Okay, and there are 2 different versions of green. This one has some teal on it, and this one has the chartreuse on it. Okay, and now I'm using these little tiny letters to do how I roll. And these came from a Bible journaling collection. I'm not sure who by. I normally find that I have trouble using them because I'm hardly ever doing them on a white background, but in this case they work fine. They're clear stickers, so whatever colors underneath shows through, and sometimes you can make that work and sometimes it's not. So this is done. I'm going to do some, well actually it isn't. I'm going to use, she's got this cute little heart at the end of her word love. So I'm going to put my, a pair of hearts. There's a lime green and a kind of a chartreuse yellow here. And I always do my overlapping hearts. So to kind of counter this butterfly here, I thought I'd do that. So I hope you've enjoyed it. It was kind of short and sweet, I think, for me. And I hope it was a faithful lift of Gill's, and she's known as Jilly B on Instagram, and Gill Birch, Gill spelled with a G. And you know what I didn't do? I didn't do the stamping. Let's do the stamping. And of course it would have been handy to have done the stamping before I put this down, but I didn't. So now it's on there, okay? That's that finishing touch that I needed to do to have a faithful a faithful lift. So thank you, Jill, for the inspiration and for everything, and thanks to all of you for watching. Bye.